Back in the early 2000s, I was juggling college life and working the night shift as a dispatcher at the building ops HQ. Officially, it was a 24-hour grind every 3 days, but I liked swapping shifts and mostly took on the weekend hustle. The job was a breeze, answering calls, jotting down the deeds, and if things got hairy, ringing up the emergency crew. Throw in some light duty like flicking on stairwell lights manually and dealing with elevator emergencies, plus handing out attic keys and collecting deposits because, they were starting to wire up those building networks. The pay was decent, no sleep disruptions, and it gave me time to cram for calculus. No complaints. One night around 2 a.m., there I was, sipping my tea, flipping through notes, and in walks this guy. Polite as ever, I'm like, "Hey, good evening. Can I help you?" Dude gives me this weird look but strolls in. Dressed in this beat-up uniform, bag slung over his shoulder. I figure, another night owl maintenance guy. We start having tea, shoot the breeze about life, and suddenly, he's a regular. Tea sessions and life talks become the nightly norm. Good guy, kept things close to the vest. One time, he swings by in the wee hours, brings a bottle of port, says it's his birthday. We kick back, and that wine was the bomb, never tasted anything like it. Bottle looked like it was crafted from clay, no label. But that's not the point. Fast forward a couple of months and I'm like, "Hey, does Dave ever swing by for you?" Coworker looks at me like I'm nuts. "Who's Dave?" I'm like, the maintenance dude on the night shift." She's like, "Are you cray? We don't have maintenance guys on duty. Emergency crew is the go-to for after-hours snafus. And all the logs are with you. Who's Dave?" So it hits me. Dave ain't on our radar. I didn't know that starting out, but now it's crystal clear. After that, he stopped showing up. I moved on to a regular gig at the factory soon after. Cut to the next shift. Dave shows up like clockwork. This time, I tail him. He heads to the second floor, down the corridor, and out the door to a balcony with an iron staircase to the ground. He opens the door, steps outside. I follow. Pitch dark. Odd, right? Usually, if the automatics hiccup, we get a barrage of calls, but it's 1 a.m., and no one's blowing up the phone. I go down the staircase, and everything's weird. Leaves everywhere, dry branches, odd-looking houses with no lights. The building I'm in looks beat up, paint hanging off like streamers. And my room's window, where I usually chill, dark and busted. This weird melancholy hits me. I mumble, "Dave, where are we?" He turns around, grabs me by the collar, drags me up the staircase, shoves me inside, says, "Go to sleep," and slams the door. Back in my room, everything's normal. Lights are on, windows intact. I stay up all night. Coworker rolls in for the next shift, and I check the door on the second floor from inside and out. Sealed shut, paint layers for days. Dave never makes a comeback, and I bounce from that job soon after, landing a solid spot at the factory.